Hello, students. All right. So as I said, I'm going to start with question number one. Question number one. We have 2/3. The thing is, I want to make sure that you're not getting a delayed response from me. That's the problem. All right. So, all right. Everyone is hearing me? All right. So we have 2/3 all squared. 2/3 is in bracket. So so 2/3 all squared is like writing x all squared, in which we know that when we're squaring x, it will be x multiplied by x. So this procedure we're going to use to solve this question. So we're going to have 2/3 multiply 2/3, which is equal to 2 multiplied by 2, we're going to have 4, and 3 multiplied by 3, we're going to have 9. That's what I've been saying from time, that you're getting a delayed response. You're getting a delayed response. Is everyone hearing me now? I guess not. Alright, so 2/3 all squared. So we're going to square a number, we multiply a number by itself. Everybody get that? No, sure. Internet not hurt good. Oh, the internet not hurt good. Okay, because Oh. Sav. Students, are you still getting the delayed response? It has nothing to do with the mic. Everything is basically booked my side. Hello, students. Are you still getting the delayed response? Seems like you are. Every time the internet got on here, I call the screen. So, yes, miss, that's what that's what I realized. Are you, yeah? Oh, are you hearing me now? Are you hearing me now, miss? All right. That was question one, but we cannot really answer one is C. They are hearing at the same time. So the all right. Um, all right. The thing is, I want to know if you're hearing me exactly after I had spoken. It's still delaying. Um, all right. Yeah, I'm talking now. You're hearing me now? You're hearing me now? All right. Are you hearing me now? Then tell. All right, so students, just give me a.
Forming.
4 meg. How much should I give you now? 5 should I give? I'm just like book here, man. I'm gonna give you the rest. Here. Yeah, because this now make no sense. Right now the internet slow like. Everyone is hearing me now? It seems like you hear me like 1 minute or probably up 30 seconds after I've talked. So yeah, me realize that it is delaying because when I put my hand in front of the camera like this, I can see that my hands are actually slowing down based on how fast I'm actually moving it. So yes, you're getting a delayed response. Just give me. All right, so just give me what. Are you hearing me now? Hello, student. Probably attached there. Response from me. Hear me? No, Miss Spencer? Miss Spencer? Get through to them. All right, so with question 1, everybody understood how I got question 1, right? Ah. Are you hearing me now, students? Students, are you hearing me? All right, so let me see if everything is going on well. So two-thirds squared. Everybody understand how I got two-thirds squared, right? How I worked it out. So so two-thirds squared is two-thirds multiplied by two-thirds. So what we actually do when we're yeah, so when we're squared, so this is question number 1, So we're doing the 2013 multiple choice paper. So with question number, let's say two-thirds squared is equal to, so two-thirds squared is like what we would do in algebra with square x. To actually get x squared, what we do is to multiply x by x. This thing is so frustrating. Frustrating. Are you hearing me now? Students? Tu le connais, Bouge, hein? Tu le connais, message? Huh? Yeah, but they want to deal with something, so they suppose always have somebody that says to make a. Alright, the students look like today one of the worst day of it. They try to work out these questions. So I don't know what one right now. I've been there slow. Very, very, very slow. Alright, hear me now, students? When me over here, so here's the weird. Are you hearing me now? As in, no, 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 no. You hear me now? As in exactly now? Still a speak. All right, so that means we can continue it. All right, so with the first question. All right, so with question number one, we're doing question number one on 2013 multiple choice. All right, so they said 2/3 squared is equal to, so 2/3 squared. Realize they have the 2/3 bracket. Well, even if they have it in bracket. 2/3 squared fractions, what we would do is check if there is anything that can be cancelled. No, we're just multiplying 2/3 by 2/3. So obviously we cannot cancel anything diagonally or denominator. So we're going to multiply 2 times 2, which is going to give us 4, and 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. So 2/3 squared is 4/9. Everybody get that? So 1 cube. So 2/3 squared, what we do, we multiply fraction by itself. So 2/3 cube, we would multiply fraction by itself 3 times. So squaring a number, we multiply it by itself 2 times, like this, 1, 2, and then cube multiplied by itself 3 times. So it will be 2/3 multiplied by 2/3 multiplied by 2/3, which will be standard. Everybody get that?
Yes, sir.
So we're going to move on. Can we move to the next question? Can you move on?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move on to the second.
sir.
So let's move on to the second question then. So with question number 2, they said that what percentage of 340? So they said what percentage of 340 is 425? So they said what percentage of 340 is 425? Now, as I said, I'm going to show you 2 methods: a short way and basically the long explained procedure. Now, if I am doing a question like this and I'm in an exam that is timed, obviously. So what I would do, I would put is over of. Now is what it's equal to, which is 425, and I would divide it by of, which is 3%. Now, probably some persons would say, all right, how you actually get the 125%? Now, is this technique 1% of 340 is 425? Now, what percent? They don't know what the percentage is. The percentage is 125. But let's say we did not work it like this. Know this technique. 340 is 425. Now, is, if we're doing an algebraic word phrase, we know that is would be represented by an equal sign. Of would be represented by a multiplication sign. Everybody get that? Everybody understand what I'm saying? We're still getting a delayed response. Students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Still getting a delayed response from me?
Yes, sir.
So let me go back over that.
Yes, sir.
So as I said before, they said what percent. They don't know what the percentage is. I'm going to use X to represent the percentage. So X percent of 340 is 4. Still getting a delayed response then. Still getting a delayed response from me.
See some person the internet issue.
So
sorry. Problem.
yeah, it seems like my internet I give you the problem. Because all right, so for the persons who are hearing me, well, the other persons are going to get a delayed response from me. So as I was saying, because I said what percent of 340 is 425. Now I'm assuming that, well, question says that they don't know what the percentage is. So I'm going to use X to represent the percentage. And if this was a worded algebraic expression or well, in this case would be an equation. So how I would write it in terms of an equation, we know that off is usually in math usually represented by a multiplication sign. Is usually represented by the equal sign. So what we could actually do is write X percent of 340 is 425. So whenever we're doing percentage, so what I'm trying to do is to determine X. I'm trying to solve for X. So X percent. Now, whenever we're doing percentage, it's always out of 100. Always out of 100. Everybody is hearing me, right? Still getting a delayed response? All right, so we would have X over 100 multiplied by 340 equal to 425. Now, 340 times X, we would have 340X over 100 equal to 425. Now, what I would do, oh, everybody is not seeing the board. So, what you could do is multiply both sides by the multiplicative inverse of 340 over 100, which is 100 over 340. 100 would cancel the 100. The 340 would cancel the 340. On the left hand side, the only thing we would have is X. But remember, and you could do on one side, we have to do it on the other side as well. So I'm going to multiply. So I'm going to have X equal to 425 multiplied by the multiplicative inverse of 3 over 340. Now, the 100 over 340, we would have to simplify that or break it down. Now, 340 into itself goes 1, and 340 into 425 is going to give you about 1.25 and 125. Everybody get that? Students?
Start at some point you're freeze, so
Oh.
just go through it one more time.
All right. Okay. All right. So the long way of solving a question like this, as I said before, you would have to basically interpret all the words into mathematical symbols. So they say what percent of 340 is 425? Now, the long way, as I said, they said what percent. They don't know what the percentage is, or we don't know what the percentage is. So we're going to represent that percentage by using X. So it would be X percent of, I'm going to put back the of 340 is 425. Now, of is usually represented by a multiplication sign. Is usually represented by a equal sign. So I'm going to have X percent multiplied by 340 is equal to 425. Now, whenever you're doing percentage, it's always out of 100. So what I'm going to do, remove the percentage sign, I'm going to have x over 100 multiplied by 340 equal to 425. 5. Everybody understand up to that point? Everyone understand up to that point? All right. So remember, I'm solving for x now because x is what I want to find. I want to know what x is. So I'm going to multiply the multiplicative inverse of 340 over 100, which is 100 over 340. So anything I do on one side, I'm going to do it on the other side, which is 340. So 100 is going to cancel 100, 340 is going to cancel 340. So what we're going to have on the left hand side is x. Now x is equal to 5, and 1.25 times 100 is going to give me 125. So the answer is 125%. And as I said before, the shortcut would be putting is over off. So we put is over off because they're in a multiple choice exam. So is over off. I remember you're not going to use your calculator, you're not going to use any calculator in the multiple choice. So you need to be able to break down these things as fast as possible. So is represented by the 420, and the off is 340. When you divide these, you're going to get 1.25. As a percentage, that is going to be 125%. 125%. So the 1 and the 25, which is a quarter of 100, so that's going to give us 25%. So it's 100 plus the 25 is going to give us 125. And if you realize the 425 is bigger than the 340, so this makes sense, 125%. Because usually if they're asking a simple percentage question, for example, I just want a simple one, 20% of 100. What is 20% of 100? Can anybody tell me what 20% of 100 is? Anybody? Well, that is just 20.
20.
So 20% of 100 is just 20. So that is how they usually ask the question. But how they ask the question this time, they don't know what the percentage is. We don't know what the percent is. So X percent, or what percent of 100 is 20. We could have solved it like this and we'll still get the 20%. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Students? Hello.
Yes, sir.
All right, so that means I can move on to the third question. Can I move on to the third question? All right, I'm going to erase this.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to erase this one. So we're going to the third question now. I need to do best if you students speak instead of text, because that will kind of rough here one day. All right. So with the third question, they say Anne. They say, yes, miss.
Yeah, go record this because Miss Pinky for the bouncer can only see your picture too.
Yeah, man. Yeah. All right. So they say Anne. They say Anne and Betty shared a sum of money in the ratio 2 to 3. And Betty shared a sum of money in the ratio 2 to 3. Now, the ratio always gives students problem for some reason, but it's not really hard. It just take a little bit of reasoning. So they say Anne and Betty shared a sum of money in the ratio 2 to 3. Now, what they're actually saying there is Anne received 2 parts and Betty received 3 parts, because they said that the money was shared in the ratio 2 to 3. If you should add the ratio, If you should add the ratios, 2 plus 3, you're going to get 5 if you should add them. Now, what that 5 represents is the amount of parts that they actually split that sum of money into. So what they would do, they'd split the money into 5, they'd give Anne 2 parts out of it, and they'd give Betty 3 parts. Everybody get that? Right. So I'm going to continue. They said Anne received $120. What was Betty's share? So they said Anne received $120, and they want to know what Betty shared was. Now, if Anne received 2 parts, and 2 parts is equivalent to $120. So Anne received 2 parts, and 2 parts is equivalent to $120. If we should determine what 1 part is, you would realize that 1 part actually represents $60. Everybody get that? Everybody understand what I just did? So 1 part of the sum of money represents $60. So if I should multiply this 60 by 3, it's going to give me 180. No, 180 was Betty's share. Or what we could do, we know that Betty received 3 parts. We know what 1 part is. So 1 part is 60. Another part would give us 60. And another part is going to be 60, because we know that Betty received 3 parts from the sum. So if we should add this side, we'd realize that 3 parts actually represent $180. Everyone is okay with that?
Yes, sir.
Everyone is okay with that?
Yes, sir.
All right. So,
Yes, sir.
yes, Miss Spencer.
Suppose they believe that Betty would have get 380.
380. So let's remove this. So let's clear this up. So you're saying that Betty received how much?
Suppose me believe that she would have get 380 billions and get 120.
So Anne, you say Anne get, yeah. So Anne get 120, and you're saying that what? Betty got three how much? 380. Now why would you believe that?
All right, before you work it out,
Yeah.
I was briefly told that I was because the 120 plus the 380 would give you 500.
Yes, 500.
Mm-hmm. So if I didn't see how you work it out and I get it on the paper,
Yeah.
to my reason and my knowledge, that's what I would.
That's what you would put. Oh, but if you realize what I did, the first thing I did was to tell you that the 2 and the 3, if we should add them, it's going to give us a sum of 5. And this 5 represents the amount of parts, because they have a sum of money. We don't know what the sum of money is. The sum of money is 5, is let's say X. But what we do know is that this sum of money, they divided it into 5 parts. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So they divide the sum of money into 5 parts. Now, what they told us that Anne received $120. So in my head now, I said to me, oh, so that means 2 parts are give me 120. So if I determine 1 part or a unit then, because a unit mean 1. If I could determine a unit from this, it will give me a better idea of how to determine how much Betty gets. So 2 share or 2 parts, because we could draw one picture. We could have used one circle, you see that this cake, for example, represents the sum of money. Now the sum of money, they said, is split up into 5 parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 parts. Now they're telling us that the shaded part here, 2 parts, is represented by 2 parts is represented by $120. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, knowing that 2 parts represent $120, I could say, okay, if I should divide this by 2, I'm going to get what? I'm going to get a share of 1, which is $60. So that means each sector of this circle or this cake is represented by $60. So this one is 60, this one is 60, this one would be 60, this one would be 60, this one would be 60. Understand? And 5 times 60 is going to give us what? 5 times 60 is going to give us 300. So the sum of money is actually 300. So if they had asked me what was the total sum of money shared, I told them that it is 300. But they did not ask me that. They asked me Betty share. Understand?
Okay.
In which
Yes,
because I know that, yeah, which is 3 times 60, which is going to give me 180. Because this is a possible question, you know. They could switch the multiple choice question, you know. Instead of asking for Betty share, they could have asked what was the total sum of money shared, you know. Understand?
yes, sir.
So everybody understand how I work that one? Oh yeah, different ways in which, but since as the primary school way this. Draw one picture, divide it up into 5 parts, try and find a unitary what one sector represents. One sector is represented by $60. So we know that each sector is represented by $60. So it doesn't matter how much Anna or Betty get now, we can tell you answer. We could answer the question. Get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's move on to question 4. So I'm going to clean this off. All right, so with question 4, they said if 12.5%, if 12.5% of a sum of money, is $40, what is the total sum of money? What is the total sum of money? They want to know what the total sum of money is. Now, the total sum of money. Now, I am looking at this question and I'm saying to myself, hold on, 12.5% is equal to $40. Now, if 12.5% is equal to $40, I'm thinking to myself, all right, 12.5%. 12.5% have to be half of a number. Half of 25 is 12.5. So I could say that 25% is equal to $80. Do you understand how I got the 25%? Students?
Yes, sir.
What did I do to get the 25%?
Multiply both sides by 2.
Very good, sir. So we multiply both sides by 2. So 2 times 12.5 is going to give me 25. So anything I do on one side, I'm going to do it on the other side. Now, they ask us for the total sum of money. Now, the total sum of money is represented by 100%. Does everybody agree?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So 25, we left from 12.5% to 25% to 100%. Now, how can I move from 25% to 100%?
Multiply by 4.
Multiply by 4. So we know say $425. I will give me what? I will give me $100. Anything I do on one side, I'm going to do it where?
On the other side.
On the other side. So 4 person, please put your mics on mute if you're not saying anything. So 4 times 80, that's what it's going to give us 32. So the total sum of money is $320. The total sum of money is $320. $20. Want me to go back over the question?
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to go back over the question. So they said that 12.5% of a sum of money is $40. Remember, 12.5% is represented. 12.5 is representing a fraction of the total sum. 12.5% is representing a fraction of the total sum. So they gave us 12.5%. The objective is to determine 100% because 100% is going to obviously give me the total sum of money because that's the question. They want us to determine the total sum of money. Now, they gave us 12.5%. So I'm going to say that, okay, 12.5 is the same thing as 12.5% is $40. Remember what I said? The objective is to determine 100%. That's the objective. Now, 12.5, I could multiply the 12.5 by 2. If I should multiply the 12.5 by 2, I'm going to get 25%. Now, anything I do on one side, I have to do it on the other side. Multiply it by 2. I'm going to get $80. Now, 25% of that sum of money that they're referring to is $80. Remember, the objective was 100%. We want to determine 100%. What I'm going to do, I'm going to multiply both sides by what? By 4. 4 times 25 is going to give me 100%. Anything I do on one side, I'm going to have to do it on the other side. So that means I'm going to have to multiply this side by 4 also. So 4 times 80, that's going to give me $320. So the total sum of money is $320. Everybody get that? Everybody understand? Take my time and go through the questions, you know, so you don't have to worry. I remember if you have any questions, you know, ask, you know. One thing we hate when persons don't understand and they don't talk. All right, so moving on to question number 5. So with question number 5, they said the value of 29.94 multiplied by 0.5 is approximately. Now the options, they said it is approximately. Now the options that they gave for this one, they said that A is 0.15, B is 1.5, they said that C is 15, and they said that D is 150. Now, I would say, because usually when you're working out decimal questions, they're multiplied, then you have to use a calculator. That's what I would say. You have to, well, you don't have to, but probably that's what some persons might think, that you have to use a calculator. Now, the thing is, you don't have to use a calculator because you can always estimate. And well, some persons might estimate and get it wrong. So I would say make an intelligent guess of what the answer might be. Now, 20, well, let's start from here. 0.5. 0.5 is a half. Everybody should know that as a decimal is 0.5, as a fraction is 1/2. So 0.5 is a half. Now, a half of 29.94. If we should round this number off to the nearest whole number, we would get 30. And the half of 30, that is going to give me 15. And if you realize, the question said the value of 29.94 multiplied by 0.5 is approximately what? Now, if we should approximate 29.94, as in half of 29.94, we're going to get about 20. Well, let me there right there. I'm going to get 14.5 and 4. We're going to get 9. 4 here, carry 1 there, 5. That's approximately what we would get. So we don't have 14.95. So the answer, we would have to round it off to the nearest whole number and we would get 15. Any questions? Any questions?
Is that fine?
Yes, miss.
Next one question, sir.
Yes, miss.
If you when you put on the 0 and the point and the 5, where exactly under the 39.49 would the 0.5 found?
Could you repeat the question?
Where exactly under the 29.94 would the 0.5 found?
Would the 0?
If you were to line them up to multiply.
Oh, like when you do it in a primary school. 29.94. So what you would do, you'd have 0.50.
When they ask,
Understand? This is if in term if you're talking about it in terms of money.
you would say 0.
If you're referring to the numbers in terms of money, this would be 50 cents. You know? Understand what I'm saying?
So stars, yeah. So but suppose well, sir, me looking at it, I don't know how everybody would agree, but sir, suppose I would carry on the 4
Mm-hmm.
and then what?
Carried on the 4.
As true me say I have 5. No, true me say have the 5, sir. I was just trying to calculate what you get the 5.
Oh, this 5.
Yes, sir.
No, what I actually did was to divide it in my head. You know, I didn't really use any calculator or anything. What I'm saying in my head, right here. Are you seeing? 20 half of
Yes, sir.
half of 29. Hold on, let me remove this. Half of 29. 29 divided by 2, that would give me 14.5.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and the 94 cent, half of the 94 cent would be so half of the 90 would be 45, and half of the 4 would be 2. So 45 and 2 would actually be 47. Understand? Yeah, so the 5 when we have at the end never right neither. So when I add those, I will get 14.97 instead of 14.95. Understand?
Yes, sir. That was my problem.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. That's
Yeah.
why me answer with the
No, man, me just divide it in my head. So if you realize this is what I would get, and round in this number after the nearest whole number would be 15.
Oh,
Understand?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Everybody else understand? Well,
Yes, sir.
all right. So I'm going to move on to question 6. Look at this paper. This paper will take with the whole night. So with question 6. With question 6, there's a in a school, the ratio of the ratio of the number of pupils to the number of teachers is 20 to 1. So I'm going to stop there. I'm not going to go any further. So I'm going to explain this. So they said the ratio of the number of pupils to teachers is 20 to 1. So can anybody explain and tell me what they mean by this 20 to 1? 20 teachers to 1 student? Is that what they're saying?
Everything 20 student is one teacher.
Students to one teacher.
Yeah, man. So every 20 student, we have what?
The student there's one teacher.
So every 20 students, we have 1 teacher. So let's go into the question.
One teacher.
So they said the question. The question, if the number of pupils is 440, how many teachers are there? So they said that if we have if they have the number of pupils or the number of students is 840, how many teachers are there? So what I would do, we know that this is representing 20 students to one teacher. So 840 students to X teachers. Do you understand how I line this up? So 20 students, one teacher. 840 students, X teachers. We don't know how many teachers. They want us to determine the number of teachers. So from this, I can determine, I can build a fraction. I could write 840 over 20 equal to X over 1. Understand what I'm doing? Everybody understand what I just did?
Yes, sir.
So remember,
Yes, sir.
everything on this side represents students. Everything on this side represents what? Represents teachers. Everybody get that?
Sir.
So what I would do is to just divide. So X, which represents the number of teachers, is going to be 0 cancel 0, 2 into itself 1, 2 into that, 42. So 42 what? What does this 42 represent?
Teachers.
So 42 teachers to 840 students. So the total number of teachers is 42. Everybody get that? Everyone understand that?
Yes.
All right, so moving on to question 7. With question 7, hello, just remember to put your mics on mute for me.
Mute your mic. Mute the mic.
Sorry, sir.
All right, so for question number 7, they said that the largest prime number that is less than 100 is this one. We did this one in class. Largest prime number less than 100 is, we know that 93.
97.
We know that 93. 93 and 99, are those two numbers prime numbers? (93) and 97, are they prime numbers? 93 and 97, are they prime numbers? 93 and 97, are they prime numbers?
Only 97.
You sure? What about 91?
We were talking about 93 and 97.
Hold on, 93. Sorry, 90. Well, I should have said 93 and 99 and 99. 93 and 99, are they prime numbers? So what they gave us as the option was 91, 93, 97, and 99. So I'm asking, is 99 and 93?
No, they are not prime numbers.
Why? Why are they not prime numbers?
It's divided by 3.
So they are more than one factors, right?
You can divide it by. Yes, sir.
So what about 91 and 97? Are they prime numbers? Are they prime numbers?
Yes, they are.
Yes, they are. But what was the question?
The largest one.
The largest one, which is what? 97.
97.
So remember, 91 and 97 are the only two prime numbers in the 100. Less than 100, sorry, between 100 and 90. Between 90 and 100, these are the only two prime numbers, 91 and 97. And they ask us for the largest one. So 97 is the answer. Everybody get that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so question number 9. Question number what is question number 9? Question number 8. Oh, so question number 8, they ask the HCF of 12, 15, and 60. The HCF, highest common factor. Highest common factor. Now, to determine the highest common factor for 12, 15, and 60, you'd have to write them out. So for 12, you'd have 3, 4, 6. 15, you'd also have to write them out. 3, 5, no more. 60 has a lot. 60 has a lot. 2, 3, here what? You get that?
Yes, sir.
3 is coming between the 15, 60, and 15, 12, 15, and 60. 3 is common. So 3 is good highest common factor. All right. The next question, question number 9. Question number 9. They have by distributive law, 49 times 17 plus 49 times 3 is, so what they have as the options is 52 multiplied by 66, 52 multiplied by, hold on, the first one is 52 plus 66, the second one is 52 multiplied by 66, the third one is 49 plus 20, and the fourth one is 49 by 20. So what we can do, we have to apply distributive law. They said by distributive law. Now, what we can do with this expression, because it's an expression, what we can do, we can factorize it. What we can do, we can factorize it. If we realize 49 is common on both sides of this plus sign, I'm write the plus sign a bit bigger. 49 is common on both sides of this plus sign. Everybody sees that?
Yes.
So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull out the 49. I'm going to have 49, open bracket. Remember bracket multiply. What I'm going to have left is the 17 plus the 3. 17 plus 3. And 17 plus 3, that's going to give me 20. I remember bracket means to multiply. So the answer is 49 multiplied by 20. The answer would be 49 multiplied by 20. Any questions? Want me to go back over the question? So this would be the answer. Have any questions, students? Okay, students. Can I move on? Can I move on, students?
Yes.
Sir.
All right, so moving on to question 10. Remember, you know, if you have any questions, you can always ask. Question 10. So with question 10, they said the value of the digit 5 in the number 537 is, so the value of the digit, what will be the value of the digit 5 in the number 537?
500.
500. 500. And if you were going to primary school, they usually write it out like this. 5 is in the hundreds position, not with th, you know, 100 position, plus 3 is in the 10th position, so it will be 3 tens and 7 ones. To write it down a bit simpler, you would have 5 times 100 plus 3 times 10
100.
plus 7 times 1. So in primary school, that's what they usually write it out in the textbook then. So 500, 3 tens, and 7 ones. Everybody get that? So the 5 represents what? 500 for the value. Everybody get that? All right.
Yes, sir.
So for question 11, they said which of the following sets is equivalent to A, B, C, D? Which of the following set is equivalent to A, B, C, D? So for A, they have 4. For B, they have A, B, C. For C, they have P, Q, R, S. And for D, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they're saying, they're asking which of the following sets is equivalent to A, B, C, D. Now, for a question like this, what you have to focus on is look for a set that has the same amount of elements. Look for a set that has the same amount of what? Elements. Now, if you should look inside the set that they gave you, it has 4 elements. Now, which one of these has 4 elements in them?
C would be the answer.
C. Everybody get that? The answer could have also been 1, 2, 3, 4. That could be the answer also. Everybody get that? Whereas they have 5 here, so this couldn't be the answer because this has 5 elements, this has 4. So you have to look for the set that has the same amount of elements in it, which is 4 elements. 4 elements is in this, so you have to look for one that has the same amount of elements.
Sir, I don't think that have the same amount of set.
Even if it doesn't have what?
Sir, I don't think have the same amount of set. You have to order like how A, B, C, and D.
No, it doesn't have to be in the same order. Yeah. So I'm going to remove this. We're going to move on to question 12. So we're at the part in which we're dealing with sets. So I'm going to remove this. Now, with question 12, they have a set like this, and they have 2 circles in it. They call this one P, call this one Q, and they shade everything outside. And what else do they shade? They shade everything in Q also. So the question is, in the Venn diagram, the shaded area represents, now they gave us 4 options. For A, they gave us P complement P or P prime. For B, they gave us Q. Hold on. For B, they gave us open bracket P union Q complement. For C, they gave us Q union P complement. For D, they gave us Q intersect P complement. Now, if you realize, they shade everything except P.
Sir, that last one.
Oh, seen that one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's Q intersect P complement. Are you seeing it?
No, sir, me not see it.
Seeing it now?
Yes, sir.
All right, write it off. The paper was sent in the WhatsApp group, you know. You can access the WhatsApp group while on the meet. Hey, Miss Spencer?
Sometimes it's kind of difficult for that. But, sir, if I'm in it, I'm not able to see what you're doing.
Oh. Well, this one come on the paper so many times. It's like this one always upon the paper.
No, sir.
Yes, miss.
Sir, the answer couldn't be A.
Yeah, man, A the answer.
Oh, A.
So why
Yeah,
yes,
man.
sir?
I think it's a B, a D, sir.
B? Nah, man. A the answer. Not P.
Why A, sir?
Because they shade everything except hold on, the camera here, sir. They shade everything except P. And if you listen to the question, they said, hold on. Before try write smaller next time, Miss Spencer. Yeah. So they shade everything except P. And they said the shaded region, the shaded area represents P complement, not P. Everything except P. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So where you mean?
Union, that would be the everything in a all right. Is for this one? This one, without the bracket and the complement, it would be the both circles. It would be everything in both circles. Understand? And if you realize they put a bracket around it and then put the complement here, so that means the shaded region for that would be everything except both circles. Understand? All right. Well, hold on. Let me show you something. Can I remove this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So this is a Venn diagram. This. So everything inside the Venn diagram is represented by the universal set U. Now, if we have two circles inside of it, P union Q would be everything in both circles. Understand? P union Q
Yes,
would be everything in both. So if we should put a bracket around it and put complement up there, it would be everything except both circles. As in everything inside the Venn diagram except both circles. So which part of that shade is everything except the two circles? Some of that shade outside.
Oh, say that shade outside the circle.
Get that?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I want even know how everything with sets. Just run through everything with it. All right. So with question number 13, usually is about 5 or 6 questions on sets. All right. Question number 13. They said that the number of elements in X. So we basically have a they did not give a Venn diagram for this one. So the number of elements in X is 7. The number of elements in Y is 5. The number of elements in the intersection is 3. And they want to determine the number of elements in the universal set, which is both X and Y. They want to know what is in both X and Y. So the Venn diagram, if we should use the Venn diagram representation of this, the Venn diagram, we have X, we have Y. So they're telling us that the number of elements in X is 7. They're telling us that the number of elements in number of elements in Y is 5. And they're telling us that the number of elements in the intersection is what? is 3, which is here.
3, sir.
Everybody get that? So the intersection is represented by the overlapping of both circles. The intersection is represented by the overlapping of
Oval circle.
both circles. Now, what I said a while ago was that both circles, as in both circles, is represented by X union Y. Well, we use different letters. So this is X, this is Y. So both circles is represented by X union Y, meaning everything in both circles. Now, for this Venn diagram, they gave us the number of elements in X, which is 7. Number of elements in Y is 5. And number of elements in the intersection is 3. Now, what if we were saying that X represents Jamaica, for example? X represents Jamaica, and Y represents USA. And we're saying that 3 persons visited both Jamaica and America. 7 visited Jamaica, 5 visited USA. Now, from the 7 and the 5 persons, 3 visited what? Both Jamaica and USA. You understand what I'm saying? Hello?
Yes, sir.
No, we cannot just write inside the answer, yeah, 7 visited Jamaica. No, 7 did not visit Jamaica. Because remember, from the 7, 3 visited where? Both countries. So for us to determine the amount of persons who visited Jamaica only, I would have to subtract 3 from the 7. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So it will be 7 minus 3. That 7 minus 3 is going to give me what? It's going to give me 4. So 4 persons visited Jamaica only. Now, from the 5 who visited USA, we know that 3 visited whom? Both. So I'm going to have to minus that 3 from the 5 as well. So that means this is going to give me what? 2. So 4 persons visited Jamaica only, 2 persons visited America only, and 3 visited both Jamaica and America. Understand? So if we want to determine the number of persons who visited Jamaica only, America only, and both Jamaica and America, we just add these numbers: 3, 2, and 4. So 4 is in here, 3 is here, and 2 is here. So when you add those, you get, how much you get? 9?
Yes, sir.
So 9 persons are in the survey, basically. So 9 persons are in the survey. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, please let me write off there.
Yes, miss.
Sister, we couldn't say when you add 7 and 5, you get 12 by a minus 3.
Yeah, man, you could do it like that as well. But I like to explain it. I'll make sure so you get what me I say.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Could you repeat that, miss? No, I didn't. Finish? No, man. It was incomplete. I didn't have any because the internet gave me a problem. Yeah, so I'm going to delete it back. All right, so can I remove this?
Yes, sir.
All right. So for the next question, so another set question, 14. Now, they gave us a Venn diagram. So this is the Venn diagram. P here, Q here, P here, Q here, and they shade the middle like that. And they said that P represents factors of 6, and Q represents factors of 4. No, then the shaded region represents. So the shaded region represents the intersection, as in what is common between P and Q. So factors of 6. Before me, they write the factors on the board. We do a question. Which question? Which one question? Oh, question 8. Never write out everything. So I'm gonna write them out now. So factors of 6. We know that 1 is a factor of 6, 2 is a factor of 6, 3 is a factor of 6. 6 itself. Everybody get that? Everybody get that? So factors of 4. We know that factors of 4 is 1, 2, and
4.
1, 2, and 4. So, and they said that the intersection that is right here, what is common, remember intersection is what is common. So P intersect Q would be equal to, what would it be equal to? It would be equal to 1 and 2. Because this part right here is represented by this in set notation. So P intersect Q in set notation is represented this, which is the shade represented by this, which is the shaded region. So the shaded region is that. So what is in the shaded region, which would be 1 and 2. Everybody get that? Students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so the next question we have, question 15.
Yes, sir.
So can I clean the board?
Yes, sir.
No, question 15. Oh, so we're going to consumer arithmetic now. So question 15. They said if T&T $6 is equivalent to US $1, then T&T $15 is equivalent to, in US dollars is, so they want to know how many US dollars is $6. They want to know how many US dollars is 15 T&T dollars. So we know that the exchange rate is $1 is going to give us what? 6 T&T dollars. $1 is going to give us what? 6 T&T dollars, or we can say that 6 T&T dollars is equivalent to $1. Everybody understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Now, if you should look at the question, if 6 T&T dollars is equivalent to $1, it's very easy to determine what 15 T&T dollars is, because if we should add another 6 T&T dollars here, we're going to get another US, right? We get another US. Everybody understand that? So if you realize 6 plus 6, if you realize 6 plus 6, so it's 12 TNT dollars, is going to give me 2 US dollars. Everybody understand that? So if you realize we're short of how much to reach 15, we're short of how much to reach 15. We're short of $3. Now, if we should compare $3 with $6, now half a TNT dollar, half of the 6 that.
Yes, sir.
So if 6 I give you 1, that means a 3 I will give you what? Half.
Yeah.
Understand? So that means that extra 3 TNT dollars is represented by 50 cents.
Yes, sir.
So if we should add these up, 15 TNT dollars is actually $2.50 US. Put on a 0 on after everything. 50 cents. So it's actually US.
That's it, sir. That's what you have about there, sir.
Are you seeing here?
I'm seeing what you're right previously.
So you understand up to this point, right?
Yes, sir.
So I'm saying that when we add these, 3 and the 15, the 3 and the 12, it's going to give me 15, which is PNT. And add the $2.50, it's going to give me $2.50 US. So the answer is $2.50. Understand that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Usually what they teach you in school is to just form one fraction here and then cross multiply, but and everybody can multiply and divide that in an exam. So the best thing is to just reason this thing out. So $6 is 15. $6, we want to get $6 to 15. So just add until we reach 15. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So just reason it out simple. You don't have to do no complicated thing to get the answer. So can I clean this off?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And most of the questions, even if they require a formula, I'm not going to use the formula. Everybody get that? Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
I'm just going to show you some, a multiple choice. I'm just going to do some basic reasoning and solve them. Now, they say a man's taxable income. So they said so this is what? 16. They said a man's taxable income is 15,200. That is taxable income. He pays tax at a rate of 25%. So he pays tax at a rate of 25%. Of 25%. The amount of income tax he pays is the amount of tax he pays is. Now, they told us that his taxable income is what? 15,200. They said that he pays tax at a rate of 25%. So what we need to do is to calculate what? 25% of
Of 15,200.
Of 15,200. So we know that what? We know that 25%. Well, we have a whole heap of different ways in which you could work this out. So 25%, we know that whenever we're doing percentages, always out of what? Always out of 100, right? Always out of 100. So we can break this down and say call this a quarter. We could do that. Or we could cancel off the zeros and then multiply the 25 times this. Everybody understand what I'm saying? But probably you don't have enough time like that in the exam. So look at what I'm going to do. So as I said, 25%, 25 or 100, it's the same thing as a quarter. So what we need to do, we need to find a quarter of 15,200. We need to find what? A quarter of 15,500. Now, half of So half of 15,500. Do you think you could determine that quick?
15,200, sir.
Half of 15,500. Do you think you'd be able to determine that? Because a quarter, you know, look at a quarter. So a quarter is actually half multiplied by half.
7,600.
You understand what I'm saying? Quarter, you know, is actually a half multiplied by a half. Yeah, so I'm going to find half. Understand what I'm saying? I remember in the exam, you don't have any calculator for dividing something, you know. So quarter is half. So what we're going to do, we're going to find half of 15,200. So what is half of 15,200? 7,100. What is half of 7,100? 3,000? Sure?
550.
3,550.
3,550.
3,500 and? 500 and? 3,500, where is it? 3,550.
Sir, the 7,100 should be 7,600.
Should be 7,000.
Half of 15,200.
Yeah, because half of that and at the 100, 500 plus 1, 600. So half of this is going to give you what? 3,000 what? 2, 8 or 16? 800. Me never really think a while ago. Me alone to give me the answer. so half of 15,200 is going to give you what? 7,600. Half of 7,600 is going to give you what? 3,800.
800.
Everybody get that? So remember, you know, 25% is the same thing as a quarter. Quarter is half. So all you need to do is to just determine half of 15,200, which is 7,600. Then you find half of 7,600, which is 3,800. So now we know that quarter of 15,200 is actually what? 3,800. Everybody get that? Everybody understand how I worked it out?
Suppose that if I need five there, but
So you're asking if what if it was 20% here?
yes.
That's 20% of 150. You know? Understand? No, with the 1/5, let me rub this out.
Yes, sir.
So the 20% now, we know that the 20% is 1/5. Now, the 1/5, a little bit more complicated now. Understand me? So what you would actually have to do is to divide this by 5. Because 1 times 12,200 is 1. And 1 is going to be the denominator. So let me rub this and do it properly. Rub this out and do it properly. So what if it was 20%? They say, what if it was 20%? The 20 over 100 multiplied by 15,200 over 1. So 20% is 1/5. 1 times 12,500, 12,200, 15,200 is going to give me 15,200. Divided by 5 times 1 is actually 5. So what we're going to have, 5 into 15 is going to be 3. Understand that? And 5, I'm going to say 5 into 200. Or you could just write back there. So 5 into 15 is going to give me 3. Then I'm going to say what? 5 into 200. And 5 into 200 is going to give me what? 40, because 20 times 5 is going to give me 100. So that means it's 40. So it will be 320. 340, sorry. 320. Get that? Everybody understand?
Yes, sir.
Can I clean the board? All right, moving on to another question. Question 17. Now with question 17, they said at the end of any year, a car is worth 5% less than what it was worth at the beginning of the year. 5% less of what it was worth at the beginning of the year. Now, let's say where am I? Let's say if a car is worth 10,000 in January, so 10,000, 10K in January, (2011), then its value in December, so they want its value in December 2011. So I'm going to repeat the question. At the end of any year, a car is worth 5% less than what it was worth at the beginning of the year. If a car is worth $10,000 in January 2011, then its value in December 2011 was now this question. Now at the beginning of the year, they said it's 10,000. They want to know what the cost of the car is at the end of the year. Now, information that they gave us, they said that a car is worth what? 5% less than what it was worth at the end of the year. At the what it was worth at the beginning of the year. So that means we're going to have to calculate 5% of this 10,000 to determine what percent it would be at the end of the year. Everybody understand that? Because remember, in the beginning of the year, it's 10,000. They want to determine what the value of the car is going to be at the end of the year. The information that they said that it should be worth what? It should be worth 5% less. So 5% is 5 over 100 multiplied by 10,000. So 2 0 cancel. 5 times 100 is 500. So we know that it's going to worth. The car is going to be worth $500 less. In terms of percentage, it was 5% less. In terms of dollars, it's going to be $500 less. So that means it's going to be 10,000 minus 500. So that at the end of the year, the car is going to value 9,500. Understand our that question?
Sir.
Understand our question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And sometimes to read these questions carefully. You know. Sometimes you need to read these questions carefully. Because we could also look at it like this, you know. Let's look at it another way. Can I remove this?
No, sir.
We can look at it another way. The other way that I'm going to look at it,
Yes,
I think that way would be best to solve it that way. Can I clean this now?
Yes, sir.
So at the beginning of the year, which is January 2011, we know that so we just buy the car, basically. So before we drive the car out of the car mart, we know that the value of the car is going to be what? It's going to be 100%, which is 10,000. Understand? No, this is January 2011. Understand what I'm saying? Yeah, that is January 2011. Now, December 2011, the car is going to be worth, it's going to be worth 5% less. Now, 5% less of 100% is what? Hello? Students, are you hearing me?
95.
Yeah, it would be 95%. Now, let's work the question like this and see if we would get the 9,500 that we got the first time when we calculated the question. Let's look at it. So we have 100 over 95. What you say, Miss Spencer?
Put that excess at 10,000 and I'm gonna put it.
What, right here, sir?
Yes, sir.
But remember, you know, we don't know what the value of the car at the end of the year, you know.
You know, sir, but if you never work out your parent, I'm gonna put 8,000 less and I'll put 5% right less and put back minus and they put that less and work to find this.
But do you understand what I'm doing, though?
Yes, sir.
So the 100% is represented by the 10,000, the 95%, which is at the end of the year, we don't know what that sum of money is. So that is what we're trying to figure out. So I'm just showing you two ways to work it out. So before, what we could have done is to find 5% of the sum of money, then subtract and then find the 9,500. But this way, we could work it this way as well. So at the beginning of the year, the car is at its maximum value, which is 100%, which is 10,000. At the end of the year, it's 5% less. 5% less means that its value is going to be 95%. Understand? But the sum of money for that, we don't know. So that is what we're trying to figure out. So I'm going to have what? I'm going to have 10,000 over x. So what we could do, we could cross multiply this. Cross multiply, bring the x up there and bring the 95 there. So what we would have what? We would have 100 x equal to 95 with the 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros. Remember, we're solving for x. So what I would do is to divide both sides by 100. So I'm going to get x is equal to, just cancel the zeros, and if you realize we get back the 9,500. We could have worked like that as well. I think this would be the best way to work it out. Easier that way though. Very easy, well, to me. Because if they switch the question in any way, working out the question like, you'd definitely get the answer. Understand me, Spencer?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So can we move on?
Not yet, sir. Yes. Yes, sir.
All right, so can I clean it now?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I'm going to move on to the next question. So they said, question what? Question 18. So if you realize I'm taking my time and going through the questions, you know, because multiple choice are very important. Sometimes you're not supposed to use calculator in the multiple choice exam. So the best thing is to just try and read questions as quick as possible. So they said Tom bought a pen for $60. Tom bought a pen for $60 and sold it to gain 20% on his cash price. How much money did he gain? So Tom bought a pen for $60 and he sold it to gain 20% on his cash price. Now, 20% on his cash price. What we would do is to just calculate 20% of 60. because what did they say? He does what? He did what? He bought a pen for $60 and sold it to give 20% on his cash price. So we have to find 20% of 60, so 20 over 100 multiplied by 60. So we know that this is what? This is 1/5 from the previous question, and 1/5 of 1/5 of 60 is 12, because 12 times 5 are 60, so $12. So the question was, because they have different options in. They said, how much money did he gain? So he gained $12. If they had asked how much did he sell the pen for, you'd have to write $72. It would be 72. Understand? Students, do you understand what I'm saying? So they asked how much did he gain? He gained $12. But if they had asked how much would he sell the pen for, he would have to sell it for $72. Everyone understand? Can I clean the board now? All right. So number what? 18. Number 19. No, for number 19, they said Mr. Duncan bought a table at discount of 30%. Of 30%. So Mr. Duncan bought a table at a discount of 30%, thus saving, so the 30%, thus saving $42. Thus saving $42. What was the mark price on the table? What was the mark price on the table? Now, do you think we could use the second method that I showed you before to solve this question? Students, are you hearing me? Students, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm saying, do you think we could use the same method to solve this question? The one about the 100% equal to that, and the whatever less percent is equal to that. Do you think we could use it to solve this question?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. So we know that the discount percent was what? We know that was what? 30%. And the 30% saved him what? $42. Now they want us to determine the mark price, that is the original price on the table. So 100% will determine that price, right? A 100% will determine that price. Does everybody agree?
Yes, sir.
So let's see. So 100% is x. We don't know what that is. So let's form two fractions. So it's 30 over 100 equal to 42 over x. And we're going to cross multiply this again. Remember, we're solving for x. So what I'm going to have 30x equal to 4,200. Divide both sides by 30. So x would be equal to, when you divide this, you get 1. 3 into 0 cancels 0. So 3 into 4 goes 1. Carry 1 here. 3 into 12 goes 4. So it's $140. $140 is the mark price for the table. Bring down the camera a bit. So $140 is the mark price for the table. Everybody understand what I just did? Everybody understand what I just did?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. Could you repeat that, miss? Oh, do it back over. Remember, say I reason out the question, you know. I'm not going to use any formula or anything like that, you know. I'm reasoning out the question. Reasoning out the question. No, the thing is, they told us that a man bought a table at a discount of 30%. And they told us that the 30% is what? $42. Because if you buy something at a discounted price, obviously you're going to buy it less than what it was originally marked for, right? Right? So,
Yes,
the original price is represented by 100%. That is what we know. We don't know what the actual money or the actual amount is in terms of money. No, they told us that he saved 30%, or he got it at a discount of 30%, and the discount 30% is $42. Understand what I'm saying? So we know that 30% is $42. That is what we know for a fact. 100%, we don't know what that is. So what we could do, we could just simply transpose this, or another way, we know that 30% is $40. We could add, we could say 30 more percent is what? Is another $40. 30 more percent is what? Another $42. So if we should add this up, we would know that 30, 30, 30, 3 times 30 is what? 90% would give us what? If we should add all of these, 3 4 is 12, and 3 2 6, 100 and what? $126 is 90%. We are short of what? We're short of 10%. Now 10% is very easy to get, you know. We can use this same 30% to get 10%, you know. 30% is $42. I could divide this side by 3 to get 10%, and also divide this side by 3 to determine what the 10% would represent. So we know that 3 into 4, that's 1, remainder 1 there, so I put on 4 there, so that's $14. So $14 is 10%. So 10%, add this side now, we get 100%. We're going to have to add the sum of money that is represented by 10%, which is what? Which is $14. And we should add that. You would realize that the 100% is going to give us what? A 0 there, carry a 1 there, 14, $140. So we have many different ways in which you could solve the question, as long as you understand it. Do you get what I'm saying? Because I realized this wasn't the way that I solved it before. So I said I'm going to reason out the questions. I'm not going to use any formulas or anything. Just use reasoning, basic reasoning to solve these questions. So in the multiple choice, you don't necessarily need any you don't necessarily need to SWOT anything. You just need basic understanding. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, man, you don't have to SWOT no formula, you don't have to SWOT no question. Because enough time they give the same question in the exam, but they structure it one different way. Or they might change the numbers and have the same answer where you SWOT on the options. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because I see them do it already. Persons SWOT multiple choice question when they go in the exam. A particular question, what CXC might do, they have the same answer there.
Yes, sir.
And then change the numbers. And because it resembles the question we use what? You choose the same answer where resemble the answer we use what? So you have to be careful. You need to understand these things. Even if you are the last one to come out of the multiple choice exam, you need to make sure you get over 50 on a multiple choice exam. Understand me? I say? There's a lot of questions they're going to go in there where you actually see already. You know? Some of them are going to twist them. And there are some in which they're going to change. Understand? So you need to understand what you're doing. But a SWAT not now going there and say, yeah, answer this one. Well, nothing wrong with swatting still. No. Beat don't ban nobody will love SWAT. Understand me, I say? But I want you to understand what you're doing.
Yes.
So can I clean this? I think we might stop at 20, you know, I can't bother right now. We're going over 2 hours already. One next evening we have to move faster. Everybody get that? Miss Spencer, everything all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
All right, so number 20. Let's see if we can, is it tomorrow evening? Let's see if we can work a couple more questions after we come from work, yeah? Everybody get that? Yeah. All right, so this one is a simple interest question. They say if the simple interest on $8,000 for 3 years is $54.
800, sir.
Miss? Oh yeah, 800. Probably miss one different number. They say what is the rate of interest per annum? What is the rate per interest? What is the rate of interest per annum? So it seems like my brain I get tired now though. So if the simple interest on $800 for 3 years is $54, what is the rate of interest per annum? So everybody know about simple interest. Well, the formula, simple interest is equal to PTR over 100. That's how they teach you over and over and over and over. So if you don't want, you can use the formula. So they said that the simple interest of $800 for 3 years is $54. What is the rate? So they want to find R. So they told us that the simple interest is $54. So anyway, we see SI, I put 54. Equal to the principal, which is $800, multiplied by the time, which is 3 years, over 100. And we're going to multiply it by the rate because of that we want to try find. Now we can cancel these 2 zeros and 3 times 4. So we have 54 equals to 24R. What else up to that point?
Yes, sir.
So we could use the formula and we say, all right, so we're going to divide because we need to find rate. So 24 divided by 24. So we know that R is going to be equal to, oh, if we should divide 24 into 54, you're going to get 2 and a remainder. Can anybody tell me what the remainder is? Can anybody tell me what the remainder is?
6.
6 over 24. Now, 6 over 24 is the same thing as a quarter. So the rate is 2.25%. The rate is what? 2.25%. The rate is what? 2.25%. Everybody get that?
So, sir, if we didn't round it off and say 3 years, that would be wrong?
3 years? No man, I must say another years. We want to find a rate and a time. We don't want to find time. We want to find rate, not time, because years is
Yes,
time.
sir.
Everybody get that? And one next thing, you see, by any chance, if they give you months, you have to calculate it in terms of a year. So for example, what if they gave you 6 months? 6 months in terms of a year would be what? 6 months in terms of a year would be what it will be half a year. How we get the half? We put 6 over 12 because 12 months make a year. Everybody get that? Everybody understand what I'm saying? So remember, you know, the time must always be in terms of what? In terms of a year or years. Well, year in terms of a year. They gave us 3 years. So if they gave us 2 years and 6 months, you know, so that's 2.5 years. Understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is what, 20? So let's see if we can push through some more questions. So 20. Let's see if we can do a couple more. Beat over the 21. Beat over 2 hours. All right. So can I remove this?
No, sir, 1 second.
So remember, you know, P is for principal, which is the money that we're going to put in the bank. T is for a year, for time, which is year, in terms of a year, which is how long we're going to put the money in the bank for. And rate is for R. That is the amount that we're going to get, the percentage of what we're going to get in on our money. That's the rate. If you realize the person gained $54 over a 3-year period. Can I clean the board now?
Finish now, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So 21. Let's look at 21. For 21, they said that at a sale, each book was sold. Oh, sorry. They said at a sale, each book was marked $3 off the original price. $3 off the original price. We don't know what the original price is. So they said Daniel paid $46 for 2 books that had the same sale price. I'm going to repeat that. At a sale, each book was marked $3 off the original price. Daniel paid $46 for 2 books that had the same sale price. What was the original cost of one of his books? What was the original cost of one of his books? Now, they said one book was marked what? It was marked $3 off. Daniel paid, or someone paid, $46 for 2 books with the same price on them. What is the original price? What is the original price of one of the books? Now, if 2 books is a $46, one book, we could divide the 46 by 2 to determine the cost for one book. So that would be, so if we divide this by 2, we're going to get what? $23, right? So this would be the cost of what? This would be the cost of one book. But they ask us what? They ask us for the original price. So that means we're going to have to add back the $3 to this $23. So the original price for one book is actually what? $26. Understand what I'm saying, students?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that was question, what was that? Question 21? Question 21.
Sir, please don't clean it.
Oh man, I'm not going to clean it. So that was question 21. So we're at the algebra section now. No, we're still on consumer arithmetic. So this was 21 was consumer arithmetic. 22 is also consumer arithmetic. 23 we're going to go into algebra. So we're going to burn through a couple more questions and then that's it. So remember, and I'm trying to explain, let us reason out the questions. You know what I say? We're reasoning them out. We're not going to just jump and just fling down some quick answer. We are reasoning them out. Can I clean the board now?
Yes, sir.
All right. Question 22. Now, with question 22, they said if $7,000 was borrowed, they said if $7,000 was borrowed, if $7,000 was borrowed, rate, so the rate at a rate of 5% per annum for 3 years, the simple interest is, so this time they just want to find the simple interest. So just use the formula and simple interest is equal to principal times time times rate over 100. So what we're going to do, so they just use 7,000 as the principal. That is what was borrowed times the rate, what was what? The time, which is 3, times the rate, which is 5 over 100. So we cancel out the 2 zeros. 3 times 7, that's 21. So that's going to give me 210. And we're going to multiply that by a 5. So we're going to get 5 times that is 1,050.
Sir, can you sit down there so that you're working?
Oh, you can sit down there. So the answer will be 1,050.
Yes, sir.
See it now?
Yes, sir.
And remember, I know you don't have any calculator in the exam, so you have to work out these things as best as possible in your head, or you can just write it out on a piece of paper. What we actually have is 70 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 5. But what I did, I've do this section first. I did the 3 times the 70 first. So 3 times 70 is going to give me 210. Afterwards, I'm going to multiply 210 by 5. So 210 times 5 is going to give me 1050. Everybody understand? Yeah.
Like you have one new student tonight.
That's how that. And the thing is,
Other half.
where's the other half? The thing is, can I remove the top?
Who they in there?
Could you repeat that, Miss Spencer?
Sorry, sir, nothing.
Oh. So can I clean the board now?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're going to hit the algebra section now. So a question, where are we? Question 21, 22, 23. We're at question 23. Now with question 23, they said that 7 times the product of two numbers A and B may be written as 7 times the product of A and B. Now without me writing down what they're saying on the paper, well, so students supposed to have the paper in front of them, their phone. 7 times the product of two numbers A and B. 7 times the product of two numbers A and B. How would you write that down? Just tell me what to write. 7 times the product. 7 times the product
Double
of
A
two. 7.
and B.
7 times.
7, open bracket A.
So 7 bracket. So open bracket. Yeah, so bracket me multiply as well.
Plus A plus B.
No, they did not say anything about sum. They said 7 times the product of A and B. 7 times the, sorry, they said 7 times the product of two numbers A and B. They did not say anything about sum. So 7 times, in bracket me multiplying, 7 times the product of two numbers A and B. 7 times the product of two numbers. The product of two numbers. The product of two numbers. So we're multiplying A and B, and we're going to have to multiply by 7. So the answer would be 7 AB. Understand? Remember in the sentence, they say that the 7 times the product of two numbers. So forget about the 7. The product of two numbers A and B. The product of two numbers A and B. So that means we have to multiply what? A and B, because they said that 7 times they said that the product. So forget about the 7. They said the product of two numbers A and B. The product of two numbers A and B. Product means to do what? What does product mean?
To multiply.
Product means to add, Miss Spencer. Miss Spencer. The thing is, I don't want to think them the way they were not going to the exam, I want them to think properly. And under pressure. So need to be able to think properly. They did not say anything about sum or addition. They didn't say anything at all about that. They said 7 times the product of two numbers A and B. So that means we're multiplying A and B, and the times we're going to have to times it by 7. So the answer would be 7 AB. Understand, Miss Spencer?
Yes. Yes, sir.
All right. So for 24, they said that if x is an integer, that satisfies the inequality. The inequality is 4 less than 2x less than or equal to 6. They said then, no, the options, I'm going to give you the options for this one. So they're saying A is 2 less than x less than or equal to 3. B, they said that minus 2 less than x less than or equal to 3. They said C is minus 3 less than x less than or equal to 2. And for D, they're saying that minus 3 is less than or equal to x less than minus 2. Now, those are the options. Those are the options. So they want to know what's the answer for this. Now, this is an inequality question, and we did a lot of these in class. Now, if you realize with all of the answers, do they have any 2 beside them?
No, sir, because they use it
They use the 2. What did they use the 2 to do?
to divide each side or cancel out each side.
Very good, miss. They use the 2 to divide each side. So we're going to divide this by 2, divide this by 2, divide this by 2. So that is how we're going to get the 2 to be removed from the x. So if we get the 2 removed from x, we realize we're not going to have any 2 in the solutions. Now we're not dividing by any negative 2, so that means we should not have any negative in the answers. So that means we could rule out all 3 of those. So what would be the answer?
A.
The answer would be A. If you look at it, 4 divided by 2 is going to give us the 2 here. And 6 divided by 2 is going to give us the 3 here. Understand what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and we did a lot of these in class, in which I did not have only 2x here, but I think I had like 2x plus 3 in the middle here with 2 inequalities, and we have to collect like terms. Then afterwards, we would have to cancel out whatever the coefficient is on the x term and the variable x. So understand how I work this out? So I'm going to remove the answers and I'm going to work it out properly. I'm going to work it out properly. So what we have is 4 less than x less than 2x less than or equal to 6. So what we do, we need the x to be singular, so we're going to divide everything by 2. So remember, this was the question. So we divide everything by the coefficient on the x, which is 2. We're going to have 2 is less than x less than or equal to 3. So this is the answer. There is no need to change anything from positive to negative because we did not divide by any negative coefficient here. And then another thing, if we're going to divide by a negative number, we would have to do what with these signs? What if we had a negative 2 here? What would we have to do with both signs here? Can anybody remind me what we would have to do with both signs?
Change the signs.
We would have to change them. For example, what if we had, I'm going to work an example here. What if we had minus 2x is less than or equal to, let's say, 8, for example. You have to remember that as we're dividing by the negative 2, I'm going to have to change around this sign. So I would have negative 2x divided by negative 2. So, but instead of putting back the less than or equal to, I'm going to have to put greater than or equal to 8 divided by negative 2. So what I would actually get for the answer is x is greater than or equal to negative 4. So try not to forget those little things. All right. So that was question 24. We're going to move on to question 25 now. Can I clean the board?
No, sir.
All right. So we're going to stop at question 30 for this evening. And try and see what we can do tomorrow evening. We'll come from work. Let's see if we can work out a couple more.
So why you change this another one?
Because we're dividing by a negative 2. And I'm going to
Positive, we have to keep the same sign.
yeah, let me show you. Can I remove it up?
Yes, sir.
All right. What if we had the same question? Minus 2x is less than or equal to 8. Now, what if I should bring over the negative 2x and bring over the positive 8? What I would actually get is negative 8 less than or equal to positive 2x. Then I'm going to divide both sides by 2. I would get minus 4 is less than or equal to x. Now, looking at this and that, I see your answer.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so that is why we spin around the sign. So whenever you're dividing by a negative coefficient on the x, you have to change around the sign. And it all depends on how we read it. If you realize reading it from the left-hand side, we have minus 4 is less than or equal to x, or we could say x is greater than or equal to minus 4, in which is the same thing we're going to get here. X is greater than or equal to minus 4, or minus 4 is less than or equal to x. Get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. So where are we? Question 25. I'm going to clean the board now. Finish with it. Finish with this. This is another example, and you could write it down. That's another way to solve the question.
All right, sir.
All right. So look, I'm going to erase it real quick. So we'll just go to question 25. Question 25. So 25. They said that if 5 bracket 2x minus 1 is equal to 35, then x is, so they want us to find the value of x. Now, we could solve this many different ways, but I'm going to just solve it the usual way. So I'm just going to use the distributive law. So 5 times 2x, that's going to give me 10x. And 5 times minus 1 is going to give me minus 5, equal to 35. Everybody understand the first step? Next thing, I'm going to collect like terms. I'm going to bring the negative 5 over the equal sign. So what I'm going to have is 10x equal to 35 plus 5. So 10x is equal to 40. Next, I'm going to divide both sides by 10. X is going to be equal to 4. X is equal to 4. Can I clean the board?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the next question, 26. With 26, they said that 3x to the 3x squared multiplied by 2x cubed is, so they want us to multiply this. So what you're going to do, you're going to multiply whole number with whole number. That's going to give us what? 6, right? I remember when you're multiplying and the bases are the same, because the same x, we add the numerators, which is the powers. So we're going to have 6x to the 2 plus 3. That is going to be 6x to the 5th power. So it's 6x to the 5th power. Six x to the 5th power. That's question 26.
Yes, sir.
All right. There's a given a time for write it off now if you have any questions to ask. All right. Question 27. Now for question 27, x, they said if x is equal to 4 and y is equal to 2, then the value of x squared plus 3y over xy is, so the thing is, we just need to do, this is just basic substitution. So what we're going to have is x is 4, so it's going to be 4. Was that square or cube? Oh, so this is supposed to be square. So it's going to be 4 squared plus 3 times 2 divided by xy is 4 multiplied by 2. So we would have is 16 plus 6 over 8. So what we're going to get is 22 over 8. Can this be broken down any further? Can this be broken down any further? Yes, 4 over 11. So 11 over 4 would be an improper fraction, or we could give them as a mixed number. So we could say the answer, what would be the answer be? What would the answer be as a mixed number? As a mixed number?
2 and 3/4.
2 and 3 over 4.
2 and 3/4, very good. So the answer could have been in terms of a mixed number, or it could be in terms of a improper fraction. So whichever way, you should be able to can identify the answer. So this is just substitution topic in from algebra. So for the persons who are writing it off, just write it off quickly. All right, so can I clean the board and continue?
1 second, sir. Finish now, sir.
All right. With question 28, they said the sum of two numbers P and Q. So the sum of two numbers P and Q. So the sum, so P plus Q is 32. So means equal 32. And then they said their difference is 12. So that means P minus Q is equal to 12. They said what is the smaller number? What is the smaller number? So if you realize this is a simultaneous equation. This is a what? Simultaneous equation. Now, for the persons who understand elimination, you can simply use elimination and solve this. Because when using elimination, all we need is the same variable with opposite signs, meaning plus or one with plus, one with minus. You understand what I'm saying? Does everybody understand what I'm saying? I did not teach you that because I don't like it. But it's fairly simple. But to me, it does not teach you much. So, once you understand elimination, Q minus Q, we know that is 0Q. So we know that P plus P, that is going to give me 2P, equals to 32 plus 12, that's going to give me 44. Then I'm going to have to divide both sides by 2 because I'm solving for P, so P is equal to 22. Then I could have said when P equals to 22, Q is equal to question sign. So I'm going to use the first equation, because we have two equations, equation 1, equation 2. So I'm going to use the first equation. The first equation is P plus Q. So I'm going for P, I'm going to put 22 plus Q equals to 32. I'm going to collect like terms. So what I'm going to have after I collect like terms, I'm going to have Q being equal to 32 minus 22 because I'm collecting like terms. So Q is going to be equal to 10. Q is going to be equal to 10. Now, so we know that P is 22 and Q is 10. The question was, what is the smaller number? The smaller number would be 10. Everybody get that? Everybody understand?
Yes.
Now, I'm going to do the question, but I'm going to use substitution, okay? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
So, remember, I don't like substitution, elimination.
So let's okay.
Huh?
Sorry, you know, say if the top one, if the minus the 12 from the 32, you know, get.
You sure? Or a 20 with a guitar, which one?
Oh, yeah, George.
So, as I said before, I don't really like elimination. So we could use substitution. So look at what I'm going to do. This is equation 1, this is equation 2. I'm going to bring over the Q, over the equal sign for equation 2, and I'm going to have P equals to 12 plus Q. It's negative on this side, when it goes right turn positive, so this becomes equation 3. So I'm going to sub, as in substitute, equation.
So the method they had.
No, wait, this method?
Yes.
No, man, this is a simple something, this one. Simple something. Me guarantee you, so once you understand this, no simultaneous equation can't give you any problems. Once you understand this, no simultaneous equation.
Long time.
Well, so yeah. So I'm going to substitute equation 3 into equation. Which equation am I going to substitute it into? Into equation 1. I remember equation 2 and 3 is the same. So I'm going to substitute it into 1 that we did not touch. So wherever I see P, I'm going to put what? I'm going to put 12 plus Q. So this is P plus Q equal to 32. Why I put P in bracket to isolate it to show you that that's what I'm going to do the substitution for. So I'm going to have 12 plus Q equals to 32. Then I'm going to collect like terms and simplify. So I'm going to have 2Q equals to 32 minus 12. So I'm going to have 2Q equals to 20. So divide both sides by 2. So
Sure, this is a method I eat.
yeah, man, this one me like substitution. Substitution me like it. Divide both sides by 2. So Q is equal to 10. So when Q is equal to 10, P P is equal to, I'm just write question sign. So we already have P as the subject here. So I'm going to have P equals to 12 plus Q. But what is Q? Q is 10. So P is equal to 22. And it still stands the question, which is the smaller number is 10. So I rather substitution. Once you understand substitution, it teaches you a lot. It teaches you how to substitute, which is from here. Depending on the question, it teaches you distributive law. It teaches you how to collect like terms and simplify, because these are linear equations. It teaches you how to collect like terms and simplify. So it teaches you a lot. Depending on the type of simultaneous equation, once you use substitution on it, it teaches you a lot. That's why I like substitution. I don't like elimination. Elimination don't really teach you much. If you don't understand elimination, it's going to give you problems depending on the question that they give you in the exam. Elimination cannot be used to solve every simultaneous equation. For majority of them, you can use substitution. Understand what I'm saying?
When Q equals 10, P equals what?
Yeah, P, when Q equal to 10, P is equal to question sign, because that's what I'm trying to figure out. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this was question what? This was question 28. So remember, we'll just stop at 30 for this evening. Tomorrow evening, I'll see what I can do. If we can work out the other 30 questions tomorrow evening.
So if you want to put over to the
Left? That side?
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. So remember, I'll send the 2013 paper in the WhatsApp group, so you can always print it.
Yes, can you go to the right one, please?
To the right? Are you using an iPhone or something?
Yes, sir. Oh. Yeah. So that's how much dead.
Oh. So you can charge the laptop next time. Are you finished, miss? Alright, so moving on to question 29. And then after that, that's the last question we're going to look at for this evening. We're going to look at more if the internet wasn't giving too much problems. Alright, so with question 29, it's a worded question. When 6 is added to a number and the sum is divided by 3, the result is 4. This statement, written in mathematical symbols, is, so they're saying that 6 is added to a number. So 6 is added to a number. We don't know what that number is, so we'll represent that number by x. So 6 is added to a certain number, and the sum is divided by 3. So they're saying that the sum of these two numbers is divided by 3. The result is 4. So that they're saying that it is equal to 4. So this would be the answer for that question. That would be the answer for that question. Understand?
Yes, sir. The only do to listen on.
Yeah, man. So I'm going to read it over. They said when 6 is added, remember the paper is in the WhatsApp group, and this is question 29. They said when 6 is added to a number, we don't know what the number is. So I'm going to use X to represent that number. Understand?
Yes, sir.
So they said when 6
Yes, sir.
is added to a number, so we add the number to 6 to the number. They said and the sum meaning the sum of the two numbers is divided by 3. So I'm dividing the sum of the 6 and the x by 3, comma, because there's a comma there, you know. The result is 4. The result is 4. Understand? That means it's equal to 4. And then question 3, in which they move into measurements. They said the volume of a cube with edge 10 centimeter is. So if you know what a cube is, so this is a cube. Draw it as big as possible. So all sides are equal for a cube. And it look like one cube set to me right now. So a cube, all the sides are equal. That would be the cube. So let's say the volume of a cube. So length times width times height, or everything at 10. So the volume is equal to length times width. All I sides them equals a set. So I write a cube side by side by side. So it's 10 by 10 by 10. So it's equal to 1,000 units cube, or centimeter. What do you have one? Yeah, centimeter. So centimeter cube. So that would be the cube. And that's it for this evening. So next class we start from 31, okay? I'm not promising you tomorrow evening, I'm saying hopefully. It all depends on how late I come in. Sometimes after eating early gym. So that's it for this evening, okay?
Thank you. Okay, sir.
Alright. Everyone is finished, right?
Yes, sir.
Alright, so I'm just going to end the meeting.